Hello, welcome to the first round here. Definitely gonna mulligan this. This hand is probably good. Like I'll keep it. If you do draw lands, we can slam turn Dynamo, and if you draw any kind of creature, we should then be able to play it. I think having a turn 1 Mox into a Signet is worth keeping at 6. Like I don't see many 5-card hands being much better. Although Mana Drain is pretty dead here, as is Umbrella Rights, given that I have no creatures here. It's fine. Opponent seems to be playing blue-green. We dropped Mio. Not really a great card, but I mean, it's okay. Mio is a really strong card. I really do love it. We won't be able to cast it that easily, given that we need a second blue. But I mean, the land is good. Wow, we draw Cave of Coleus. It's not blue, but it does fix my. Fuck this Signet, man. I swear to God. I mess it up sometimes. I usually do it correctly, but when the times you mess it up, it's pretty bad. So opponent hasn't done anything yet. We haven't either though. We're just mana accelerating. As soon as we draw blue, we can play the Mio. We have 7 mana, so we can cast our Mirror Battlesphere and Sheoldred. Gibson Given is a monster of a draw. Wow. We can cast Gibson Given end of turn, get like 4 creatures, put them all in our graveyard, and then just Umbrella Rights. Probably gonna go for Sheoldred, depending on what my opponent does, of course. Even if he has counter, he has a double counter, so the best cards he can have is Control Magic, and well, he can counter Gibson Given, although that seems very unlikely. But the best counters he could have are Control Magic is the best card he could have, I think. So maybe I go for Iona first, like Iona on blue. Make sure my opponent cannot do anything about it. Well, given that he has Sword of Feast and Famine, Iona might be the better card here. Iona on blue, huh? Target opponent, okay. Gotta use the signets. And gifts are given. Let's pick up our 4 creatures. Put this stupid thing out of the way. We're pretty lucky with where's this Battlesphere? There it is. We're pretty lucky that we have 4 creatures, to be honest, with Gifts Ungiven. As soon as we have 1 in our hand or a Burrow Right in our hand. So he gave me Shouldered and Mirror Battlesphere, 2 cards I can hardcast. Draw land, which is meh, doesn't really make a difference. If he plays Shouldered, he's gonna sacrifice the wall, spend his turn equipping swords, smashing to me. Then he'll have extra mana for the untap. Iona does also seem viable. Just run with it, I guess. See what he does about it. Still need to pay 1 here. Like, if he doesn't have a creature, he only has 3 cards in hand. If he doesn't have a creature, this is pretty hard for him. Yes, Sword of Feast and Famine will make me discard something, but we can discard like Mirror Battlesphere even. Although we could hardcast it, I think it's fine to discard that. Plus, you know, Sheoldred does bring back Iona on its own. There are some things to say to playing Iona over Sheoldred on blue. Like, we don't really know our opponent's deck, and he could definitely have like Control Magic, Roaching Cloudscape, Treachery, cards like those that I actually want to get rid of. We can't block this now because it has Pro Black, and this is gonna make us discard card. But I mean, discard Mirror Battlesphere when you have Sheoldred does seem good. Jace is fine. If he attacks, if he attacks, we can't block, but he does lose his Jace then, unless he has a creature, of course. He could have a creature. Oh, we can. Okay. So do we get Iona or Inquilivitan? Birds of Paradise, huh? That can block, I guess. It's also sacrifice for the shoulder to Vengefine. Okay. So definitely want the Iona here, right? Yeah. Although Inquilivitan does have Island Walk, I think Iona is a bit better. We'll take away the blue. Blue is definitely way stronger than this. Do not really want to cast Terminus here. That's gotta be pretty bad. And we can earn better rights. Inquilivitan, or we can just play Battlesphere. Battlesphere does generate more tokens and automatically target, so I'm gonna play that one. And need to tap these. Yep. So yeah, and their artifacts, so they block anything. Birds still can't attack. Birds can't attack because we have Iona, which has flying. It does block apparently. Is he gonna sacrifice Vengevine here then? Like sacrifice Vengevine. Yeah. So he has a troll setting, but like he only has 3 cards here. Don't think it's gonna be that relevant. And even if he has like an out, we still can play Terminus. No, we can't. We don't have double whites. We cannot. So we go 1-0 up. That seemed pretty easy, although it does seem to be pretty aggro. What can we bring in? We have some cheaper creatures. The problem is that Gatekeeper is double black. Livebane Zombie does seem strong. Maybe we want that one in. Like, what would we cut though? The problem with Livebane Zombie is that it doesn't remove it from game. It just puts it into a graveyard. So, well, we get to choose. It has Intimidate, so it's good against Jace. Just looking what I could cut here. I think my deck is strong enough. I'm gonna keep it this way, I think. Maybe Smokestack? Nah, Title Scholar. Nah, okay. Let's go on to game 2. We have everything of our colors. We have Umbrella Rights, we have Battlesphere. Gonna keep this, but I think it's a greedy keep. If he had better discard effects of our own, if he had like Liliana, opponent has Birds of Paradise, that's fine. We have to disfigure for it. Tezzeret is actually a good draw. If we get a land and he doesn't apply pressure to it, we can then find more cards. Man, this graveyard thing. I still don't know if anyone knows how to put those graveyards correctly. Let me know. Drawing Shoulder, not really draw once. Definitely want to run Island here in case we draw another island to play Mana Drain. But we just need lands, I guess. Or is it Signet? Will do. Kokari Signet is. Hey, I asked for a Signet, didn't I? So that helps me casting Tezzeret. If I draw land, we can then cast Tezzeret and just swing with it. If we don't draw land, we can still cast Tezzeret. Plus it, I guess. It depends on what my opponent plays. If he has like Vengevine here, it's pretty hard for me. If Vengevine into a sword, it's actually pretty hard for me to beat here. Yeah, probably. So 4 mana finally does something. And it's Reclamation Stage on the Signet. That's painful. That is painful. He doesn't know we missed a land drop. Drawing Smokestack, not really the greatest draws. Yeah, probably should have sideboarded it out. Like, he seems to be the aggressor. Playing Smokestack is probably not that great. It's great against after Terminus, but even then. So, outside of lands, what do we really want? And even if we draw an island to play anything, do we just keep it open for Mana Drain? Courser, huh? That's a strong one. Channel. And play land, fine. So we know he has Channel. Yeah, we want to make our land drop, so we have to play Thirst now, right? We can discard the Smokestack. Or maybe creatures, we can just discard like Battlesphere. And then play Imperial Seal for Terminus. In case he channels, brings back a really big creature, we want to be able to Terminus. So yeah, there it is. Terminus on the top. I assume my opponent is gonna play channel here and play big creature. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We can still Terminus away those 2 creatures. Land is pretty strong. Maybe I should have discarded Shouldered as well. You know, we can discard 2 cards with Thirst, like both the Battlesphere and the Shouldered. And then, instead of playing Terminus in case he doesn't do anything with a creature, we can just play get back Shouldered. Maybe that's a bit better. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. Opponent reveals Stomp Horror, so Tezzeret actually becomes way worse. What is this? Garruk. That's not really a good card for me to see. Because after Terminus, it's still gonna get a bunch of creatures out there. We can. Do we play this now? I think we have to if we we haven't discarded Shouldered. If he discarded Shouldered, I think playing Shouldered would have been a bit better. Yes, he can keep creating creatures, but I mean, that's okay. So now we play Tezzeret. Yeah, we want mana acceleration, so we have to play Tezzeret here. Like, he isn't applying any pressure. Yes, artifacts are pretty bad at this point. Do we have to do something, right? Title score versus Dynamo. Title score is okay, but I think Dynamo might be a bit better. Title score does remove guard from his hand. Turn Dynamo allows me to get shouldered. The problem, of course, is the Stomp Howler. Like, he's always gonna Stomp Howler or something. So we'll try to bait it out with the Smokestack, I think. But I think Dynamo, given our hand, is a bit better. We can also bait it out with Unburial Rites. Like, if we play Dynamo after we draw lands and we play Dynamo and then Unburial Rites, Mirror Battlesphere, Troll Ascetic, not a bad card. And he's gonna draw cards, that's fine. I think that's correct on his end to do so. Like, you never know how long your Garruk is gonna be alive. 3 mana, 4 mana. Glen Elendra. It's gonna be a tough one here. My hand is nothing but non-creatures. Well, there's another one. So if you play Dynamo, he blows it up. You can play Dynamo and Smokestack, and then animate Smokestack. Then he has to blow up Smokestack. We keep Dynamo. We get to play Shouldered. If we draw Mox here, wow. Nah, I should have played Dynamo, and then play Smokestack, animate Smokestack, make it a 5/5. He's always gonna have tokens though, so that's the reason why I went for plus. Like, if I hit a Mox here, it's way better. But like the odds of me not hitting Mox is pretty huge. So we can play Dynamo and the Signet. He then blows up the Dynamo. Can still play the Dynamo and the Smokestack, but I think the Smokestack has no value here. We can never generate 2 blue if we want to run the Dynamo as well. We can play Signet maybe? Like, if we just play Signets. Let's go for Battlesphere instead. So other lines, yeah, we could have played like the Signet, kept open mana drain, hoped he went for the Stomp Howler on it, mana drained it, gain 5 mana, and then with that 5 mana do Shoulder it. Plus we'd have 4 for Dynamo, so this is gonna be the Stomp Power, by the way, on the Battlesphere. Got a text message. Give me a small sec. Oh man, really? I just got a message for a poker game this evening, and I already said okay to someone else. This is a tough one. So Battlesphere down. We expected that. We basically just want to protect Tezzeret here and be able to keep Tezzeret alive. Is he only gonna attack with only Glen? Nah. Okay. So I'm gonna double block the troll, I think. Like, if he taps wrong, that's great. We're gonna sacrifice these tokens anyway, and I don't think we're gonna win the game by just having a bunch of tokens. Plus Tezzeret is gonna take some hits. If he wants to sacrifice Glen Elendra next turn to stop anything else, that's fine. Maybe the mana drain play was better, but then we would immediately lose Tezzeret. You would have Shoulder, but I don't think Shoulder is that great against this guy. So we can counter the Abyss. So make that a 5/5 first. Definitely not gonna attack, right? We want it as a blocker. Play the Dynamo. It could have cast Abyss, but it didn't do so, obviously, because it's very likely it's gonna Glen Elendra that. If I did that though, and he attacks with everything, I can eat like Stomp Howler, like on the Tezzeret. Now this has to be better for me to be able to play Shoulder it, because that's probably my only way out here, just to play Shoulder it. The problem is that he's always gonna draw more cards with the Garruk. Plus he obviously has channel in his hand, so whenever he draws something really big, we're pretty screwed. So Glenlander should take care of the Tezzeret. Having a 5/5 is fine to stop his Grand Army, but he is mana accelerating here. What does he have? Boom, 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 boom. Nisa. That's a tough one to beat. Pretty good Planeswalker. I love playing with that card myself. It just is that good. Like sometimes you have really powerful cards. Nisa is one of them. Interesting. So he doesn't go aggro here. We could block, and then he does 11 damage. So he's 1 damage short. Oh, never mind. He has Consecrated Sphinx. Yeah, that's definitely way better. Way better one. So he's gonna kill Tezzeret here. Maybe we should have played the Abyss and made him sacrifice Glenlandra, but then he just like throws a token at me. He can draw 2 cards here. I don't think Sheoldred is gonna do enough. But all the rest gets countered, right? And then Sheoldred eats like beast tokens. He also can generate a bunch of mana, can make extra. He can make 2 creatures every turn. I don't see a way out of this. I think it's just Sheoldred. Maybe. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 mana, so we can only play Sheoldred. And the Abyss is obviously a good card, but it's basically just a very similar effect. And he's just gonna be sacrificing beasts. We can Unbury Rites as well on the Battlesphere, but that's just gonna get countered. And then we can play the Abyss, which again, is so similar of an effect, it really doesn't matter. Sheoldred can block something. I think we just have to hope our opponent messes up here, but it seems so very unlikely my opponent is gonna lose this. Like he can keep sacrificing tokens. He's gonna draw extra cards with a Consecrated Sphinx in a way. He basically has me on a 2-turn clock with his flyers. So we can get Battlesphere back then after that, but that's not gonna be enough. We can draw Iona. Now we don't have the white for Iona. Plus, even if he just, uses Nisa to make creatures, I don't even think Iona is going to be good enough. Although Sheoldred bringing back Mirror Battlesphere does give me enough creatures. 3 mana, Sword of Body and Mind. So yeah, let's concede this one. That's a pretty strong pack of cards. So Live Vein Zombie. Like Smokestack. We have to cut something. Mana Drain hasn't been successful for me. I think Title Score is still good enough. It is an artifact after all with Tezzeret. Smokestack probably is the worst, yeah. So it probably should have been out in between game 1 and game 2. What a trash hand. We have no blue. If we draw blue, then that's fine. This is such a greedy keep. I'm gonna keep it, but it's really, really greedy on my end. I'm sorry. I know I keep greedy hands often. So we can open with Godless Shrine. There's no way we have an island, so I mean double islands for Mana Drain. Might as well do it this way. Birds of Paradise. That's a pretty good opening against my hand. Wow, lucky draw. So take away our opponent's mana acceleration. I don't think that's something we should never do. I mean, if he goes turn 2 troll, I think even that is pretty strong against this hand. We just want to stall and be able to get into a position where we can actually do things. He's taking damage. Oh, Rifting Cloudscape? Yeah, okay. So it does have Cloudscape apparently. We draw our Fortress. Again, don't need to run it out here for removal, right? Cloudscape is gonna be a nuisance. Like it can bounce Tezzeret, it can bounce the creature we bring back with Emperor Rights. It is casted, so if you put a Yona, or if you manage to put a Yona somehow on blue, then it's good. Repeal is an okay draw. Let's just cast Tezzeret here. I think it's good enough. Like it does get us artifacts. We could have gone faster with Gibson Given. Definitely take a Trend Dynamo here. Then next turn we can play Dynamo and something else. I think Gibson Given probably. We could have gone for gifts end of turn. And then gotten creatures plus on Burial Rites. The problem is just is that the Yona is in my hand. GS Cradle. What's this? Troll Ascetic. Not really a great card for me. Plus Rifts and Cloudscape will come in. Tezzeret is so gonna die. And we can't even animate a creature because then he just bounces that and attacks into the Tezzeret. So I still think, well, depending on what we draw, of course. We play Trend Dynamo and then Gibson Given for Umber Rights package. But I don't think that's gonna be good enough. Like, against the current board, sure, but my opponent has GS Cradle. He's gonna accelerate so hard. So what do we draw? An island, that's not really that great. I don't think animating Trend Dynamo will be good, especially given that after we animate Trend Dynamo, we can't tap it for mana. So we can't tap it for mana in response of him bouncing it, because it will get Summoning Sickness, because it became a creature. So we can't get Gibson Given plus Trend Dynamo. I think we want him to target the Trend Dynamo though, so we have to go for Trend Dynamo into Gibson Given. Definitely want to plus this. Golgari Signet is okay, although not the best of it. So he's very likely gonna be Cloud Skating the Trend Dynamo here, right? I don't see what else. Maybe I should have gifted instead of Tezzeret. And then we had everything in play for this turn. So yeah, definitely gift here. I never knew actually that you... Well, I knew you had to target an opponent because I think Frank Carson in 2008 or something played a gift deck. So we have to go for Inkwell, Umber Rights, and then our other two creatures. Come on, where are you? Aha! Let's see what he gives you in my hands. So yeah, Frank Carson did play that, and then the guy brought in, I think White Leylands were they legal then, where he couldn't be targeted, and then that basically won the game, some games for the opponent, just because Frank Carson could not use his gifts combo because it targets your opponent. Pretty unlikely counter, but it does counter it. That was pretty entertaining, by the way, back then. So he has to put like Battle Sphere in my graveyard, right? Or Inkwell Leviathan. Oh, never mind. He's bouncing the Trend Dynamo, so he has plenty of time. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Channel. Uh-oh. What is this? Avenger. Whoa, Sheldred is definitely gonna be too slow now. Pretty bizarre that my opponent played an island first. Like, if you're planning to channel out Avenger, why would you play an island first? But I'm way behind here. We can bring back Sheldred. I think we have to, right? But it's just never gonna be good enough. We play Trend Dynamo, bring back Sheldred. We sacrifice the plant. We do have blockers then. He has one card in hand. Do we have enough mana? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we do. So Dynamo, Sheldred. Oh wait. Oh yeah, flashback is 4, so we can do this. I knew something that it was possible, but I just didn't know how. It's pretty hard commentating and doing this, to be honest. But I mean, sacrificing a plant. We now have enough mana to play Iona next turn, so I just hope my opponent's last card isn't all that great. Can't put it on green. Green, huh? Sacrifice a plant, okay. It's like looking, maybe he knows it already, but he has a bunch of mana, by the way. Crater Hoof. Courser. That's not that bad. Master of the Wild Hunt is a bit painful. Another 5 mana, 6 mana Consecrated Sphinx. Bribery. I have Scholar, right? Yeah, I have Title Scholar. So he doesn't have a land on top, he has Master of the Wild Hunt. He gets like Title Scholar here. We don't have Livebane Zombie anymore, I think. We can bounce the Scholar. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. 11 mana with the land, so we have Iona plus 2. So we can't really bounce Title Scholar if he takes Iona. Bribery is not scarred against me, by the way. It just sucks that, you know, I already gifted for every creature I have because that card is bonkers. If he briberies my own Sheoldred, I lose this game pretty easily. So I think he has to take Iona. Like Iona and green, maybe. Iona and green, then we have Repeal for a plant. It depends on what it takes, of course. He can take Repeal and then he can have Title Scholar. We're definitely on the defensive here. Master of the Wild Hunt. Do we want to shut that down? Avenger isn't doing anything. We can shut down his Draw of the Master with Iona. So I think he has to take Iona here. Oh, he takes Battlesphere, huh? Interesting. We do have triple... Yeah, we do. Obviously, Sheoldred isn't gonna do anything. So we'll drop down to 18 here. Just making sure I have enough mana. Which I obviously do. I have 11 here thanks to Trend Dynamo. Trend Dynamo is such a powerful card. Draw an island, so we can bluff mana drain and keep it up. But I don't think it's necessary. We do keep up a blue just in case we need to repeal. But that seems so unlikely. So let's pay the mana here. Bluff the mana drain, and I think we're given that he has no cards and we're gonna see Master of the Wild Hunt, which is gonna generate tokens. We wanna name green here. Now we have plenty of creatures. If we play Leviathan next turn, we will win as well. He can keep on sacrificing plant tokens, of course. Okay, they become bigger, and there's another land. Which isn't that big of an issue at this point. I mean, we have a 6/6 and a 7/7 are applying a decent amount of pressure on him. Oh no, he has a flyer, so Inco Leviathan isn't the end all. We can repeal Title, or how you can see it. So go 1-0, and I'll see you guys in the second round.